Okay, until Eyal will manage the computer, please Shai, come up. Shai is a new member of the panel. I had no idea what he's doing, but Shai, where is he? Shai, please tell the audience what are you doing. Nice. Take the mic. Okay.
Hi. Okay, so I'm the fill-in, but it's okay. I actually wanted to show you a video, but I have something real physical to show you. I myself am an industrial designer in the past. Before that I was a pilot. And today I'm a maker, let's say entrepreneur. Does this have to show me? Okay. It's okay. So I'm going to not talk too much. I'm going to show you something, and then if I have a few minutes, I'll explain what I'm doing. So take a good look. I have here a piece of paper. 30 seconds, I'm going to fold something. Okay, they can watch me. So what I'm doing here, I'm actually creating a toy. I myself am a toy designer, and today I own a toy company called Taylor Toys. And we create products that merge between technology and origami. And that's a new concept. The first product that I invented was called, we have a name for it. The name of the brand is Power Up. And essentially it's connecting a power source, an electric power source, to paper airplanes. So this is the paper airplane most of us created as kids. Throw it at the teacher or out the window. You can tweak it, adjust it, and it'll fly quite well, probably. It's like an indoor product. The nice thing about paper airplanes, it's accessible. It's using paper. It's a medium that everyone has at home. You can print on it. It's kind of a digital medium. But what I'm going to show you now is a new product that this is a third generation product. It's a smartphone controlled paper airplane. So here. Show you on speak up. Is that good enough? I need both of my hands. Okay, so here, this is the paper airplane that you've seen, and what I've created here is a kind of a smart module that communicates with your smartphone. And so I'll show you how it works. The way it's designed is that it connects to the front of the device. And this is a kind of universal device because most paper airplanes have this kind of a big roof. And it locates it magically in a place that you still get a very good balance in weight, etc. The next thing is controlling. So we're using a Bluetooth 4.0 technology. And I'm not sure I'm going to fly it here. Maybe I'll fly a different model. But I'll turn on the app. The app is supposed to work, of course. The app is going to, okay. We have control. And it's very simple. It's a radio controlled device. You can turn the thrust on. And you can actually control the rudder. You see here a little rudder on the top. This will give you right and left control. You'll also notice that when you turn right and left, the thrust increases and decreases. So this, when an airplane flies, normally when you go into a turn, your lift increases. So this gives you an opportunity to keep that lift. And this is the kind of things that we can do with smart technology. Turning this simple piece of paper into literally a drone. I'll try to show you another product. Fly it. I don't have any insurance, but we'll try something here.
We have insurance.
Okay. So this is, and by the way, this is important. This product is launching this November on Kickstarter. So help us support it. Go into our website and sign up, and you can get one of these in the next 4 months. This is another product that's actually commercial, and it's a free flight version. And this this one, this flies wherever it wants to go. It's a lower cost item. The nice thing about it is that it pretty much reflects how well you built your airplane. If you build a really good airplane and fly really well, if you build a stalling airplane and start stalling, you want it to fly in circles. So we'll try to make it fly in a circle to come back to me. Hold the fingers. So I'm going to raise these elevators and give it a little bend on the rudder. And the cool thing about this item is it's actually used besides for, for children, geeks, whatever. It's used for teaching aerodynamics in the US in STEM education. It's officially in the, okay. So we're using here supercapacitive technology to store the energy. It has around 10 farad inside. Watch your camera over there. And watch your heads. I'll try to make it full circle. There is some wind here, so it could, let's do this. Up. Oh, fresh. Now, what you can do, I want to see your camera. Okay. Okay. I'm going to do another try. Went a bit to the left. You're supposed to count to 20 pretty much.
Okay, thank you very much, Eyal.
What I just want to say, just one word, is that before showing the stuff, and I kind of came here to help fill in something, I was working at Kodak as an industrial designer for about 10 years, and felt pretty much fed up with being, the slave of a big corporate, and I just took this idea, which was just kind of a game that I did in my garage, and we already sold over 100,000 units the last year and a half. And it's currently my main business. We have boats that we're making out of motors. We're thinking of robotics. And the boats. So help us with Kickstarter, and we'll appreciate it.
So you're going to... How much money do you need to raise?
We need about 100,000 for the first 5,000 order, but we're going to start with the 50,000 plus.
Okay, wish you all success. Thank you.
Okay.
Power up toy.
Okay.
And we're, by the way, we're exhibiting in New York, Toy Fair, and Nuremberg Toy Fair. We won also for this item the best of popular science. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, can you switch? Okay, thank you. It's working. So, what I said before, I do art, and what I'm trying to do is basically create new form of sculptures. Basically, I create computer simulations that I've developed through the years, create all sorts of crazy events, and then I kind of freeze a moment and use 3D printers to fabricate. So what I'm doing now, what I'll show you is the first part of the show. I'll show like past works, and then I'll show you the new developments that I've been working on. So what you see now here is from a show I had a year ago. This is a 1.5 meter sculpture that is an output of this computer simulation that I developed, where basically an object falls and crashes. So then basically I choose a moment and send it to print. So there is no human intervention between the time I developed the simulations until the final sculpture. This is an oil splash. It's a 1 meter plus sculpture, and again, it's a moment out of this liquid simulation that I've developed. So I've been working on really all sorts of experiences or events that are radical. For example, explosions. In this case, it's a nuclear explosion. And many times, I search for beauty, and beauty sometimes you can find in really the ugliest or scariest of events. This is a computer simulation. It's not a video. It's millions and millions of particles that are simulating a nuclear explosion. Normally it takes me like 1.5 years, 2 years to develop each one of those engines. And in this case, I chose the moment. It's a 2 meter sculpture, and it's basically 12 layers of plexiglass that I've printed, so you can see the full three-dimensional suspension of the sculpture. Now below you see two objects sculpture, and this is an output of another simulation, which is collisions, where I create all sorts of accidents, and I'm basically trying to keep the aesthetic very minimalistic. And you see the sculpture, each one of those collisions is over 1.5 meters, which are large objects for 3D printing. So the last work I'll show from the previous work, this is a huge simulation of volcanic eruption, smoke, massive. And so then I choose a moment, and again, it's also as if time is frozen in this sculpture. You can see the smoke being captured in the sculpture. This is another example of it's a new project I'm working on. It's going to be a 5-meter sculpture, and it's a part of this waterfall simulation. And the thing is that a lot of artists dealt, in trying to capture storms or all sorts of events, whether it was painting or sculpting, but they did it from their memory. They did it from their inspiration of what they think is storm. Here you have all the data of liquids, and then I basically parse it to the printer, so time is frozen. In this case, it's a large tsunami kind of sculpture, which is an output of this sculpture. Okay, now I'm moving to where I am now. So I've been working, as you see, I've created all sorts of simulations of natural events or human-created disasters. Then I got really interested in sound and how can the music and the sound provide the data for my simulations. If before the data was of a nuclear explosion, in this case I basically I took it a step further, basically, to see how it influenced the geometry. And
if you fall to die and you hold on, you see that staring your life away. But if you made your peace, then the devil's the real angels that free you from the earth. Free you from the earth. This is not how you look at it, that's all. From the earth. So are you okay? Okay.
Start to be really interested in motion. Futurism, they dealt a lot with trying to capture movement and motion. And so for the last year, really what I'm working on is that the end result will be a live show with real performance, a hologram projection on the stage, and the audience won't really know what's real and what's not real, because the engines that I've been working on, and Autodesk is helping me, is sort of a real-time responsive 3D engine that will track the dancers, will be responsive to the music and the dancers' movement, and everything will be on the hologram. So what I'll show you now is my research. The research, it's not a final work, but research that I've been doing. So for the last year, I've been working with amazing smart people in Germany that enabled me to build a rig of 12 GoPro cameras. And through the video data, we're able now to, in real time, triangulate those 12 cameras and create 3D data, 3D information out of the video. And then I can infuse it into my simulation engines. And this is the kick you just saw. And this is full 3D data that, this is not a sculpture, it's a research. But you can see how, basically I took the frame, the 3D, I have all the sequences of those fighters fighting, and I just took this particular frame of the kick, and I just pasted all the other frames of the other guy falling. Here's another example where out of the video cameras that I will put on stage, the dancers can dance, and what you'll see on the hologram is not the dancer on the stage, but literally my interpretation of their movement. And because it's 3D, every frame can be printed into a sculpture. So here's another sort of movement research. Then here's a close-up of the physical sort of tangible sculpture out of the human movement. You see the strings. So here's another way to capture human movements and then through my art interpret it into, you know, the smoke technology that I've developed, which you've seen before, which creates sort of another sublime interpretation of human performance and human figures. So from the camera I can capture, let's say, this old man, and here I'm testing some melting kind of process of the character. Here is another capture of a dancer, but I applied my liquid simulation technology. And so what's cool is that it's not just a live performance, but also every frame here can be a 3D, you know, a physical sculpture like you've seen before. So I'm kind of doing a lot of research, and in order to get to a point where it's going to be my next phase of my art, which is, you know, not just doing catastrophes or events that you've seen before, but I'm very interested now in figures and in humans. So here's my liquid simulation and how I basically apply it on the face and how the face kind of reacts. So this is what you've been waiting for, I mean, in my time. So I hope it was worth it. Thank you. Just to finish, if it's okay, here I'm showing the projection technology of the hologram. So imagine that there's a stage, there's a top projector, it projects on the floor, and there is a transparent screen that illuminates sort of the animation on the screen. And this hand is captured by video, right? And sorry. And then
Eyal, Gever, and thank you for your patience.